What's up YouTube? Javi here at Javi's Boom Tech, and today I'm actually on my way to Best Buy because apparently they got a shipment of the new Sony XB3 portable Bluetooth speaker in early, and they have one available today. Where Amazon, I believe it's only on pre-order and they don't start shipping until about March 21st. So if you don't know what the XB3 is, it is the follow-up to one of my favorite portable Bluetooth speakers, the Sony X33. So let's go to Best Buy and see if we can pick it up. All right, guys, so I just left Best Buy and they had it. So I am anxious to get home to check this thing out. It looks like a pretty big improvement over the X33 with features like multiple speakers. You can actually connect the second one for stereo sound. It is IPX water resistant, and definitely looks like it's bringing a lot more power than the X33, which would be quite impressive since I really do love the X33, how powerful it is for such a small speaker. So anyway, guys, let's get home and check this thing out. Alright guys, so I am back to the man cave and I'm ready and excited to unbox this new Sony XB3. So this, like I said before, is the updated version to the Sony X33, which is this speaker right here. This, by the way, is a fantastic speaker. I love this speaker. The sound on it is just incredible. The amount of bass that it produces is just unbelievable for a speaker this size. And then the sound stage that Sony was able to put into this thing is, I mean, nothing short of incredible. It sounds like a much larger speaker than it really is. The only real downside with this X33 is that sometimes it doesn't really get loud, and when it does, when you do go over about 70%, it doesn't sound quite as good as it does between like 40 and 70%. Between those volume ranges, I mean, this is a hard speaker to beat, and it was actually really nice looking speaker, ultra portable, and just really enjoy this speaker. So I'm really excited to check out to see how Sony improved on it with the XB3. As you can tell by the box, it is definitely a bigger looking unit. Looks like it's got more power. It is a lot more rugged with that IPX5 water resistant ability, extra bass. They did add the speaker add function, so now you can pair two of these together to get stereo. Then right there, multi layout, so you can stand it up or lay it flat. It's got USB charge now. The previous X33 did not. Speakerphone capabilities, and then of course the clear audio and DSEE for better sound enhancement, which is what gives it that nice big open sound stage that I really like. And then of course LDAC, which is Sony's version of the aptX codec, so it gives you pretty much CD quality. The only downside, of course, is that you need both devices, the streaming device and the speaker, to have LDAC. If one of them doesn't have it, then it rounds down to the lowest common denominator, which is usually the SBC codec. So most of us probably won't get much use out of that, but it's nice knowing that it's there. Other than that, I mean, this thing looks pretty nice, so let's go ahead and get into it. Pretty nice box. And there it is. The speaker is right on top there. Definitely heavier and bigger than the X33. So very promising. Let's move this box back a little bit here and get the speaker out of here. The big presentation. Ta-da! There it is. Let's see, what does that say? Oh, it's got a cap to protect the ports there, so that's nice. It is IPX5 certified, so that's the reason for the cap covering the ports there. And there it is. It's a really nice looking. Definitely looks bigger. You can definitely see the drivers on here, the two drivers right here on the sides, and then that base, the passive radio right there in the center. Nice metal grill right here. This is plastic right around here, but the rest of it's got that nice matte finish that I really like on the X33 there. So starting right with the top, you've got your NFC tag there for all you Android users, and then we've got your speakerphone, and then there's that add speaker function to go ahead and add a second unit for stereo sound, which if it sounds at least as good as the X33, that'd be a really cool feature to test out. your Bluetooth pairing, that extra bass mode, and then volume up and down, and then of course your power button right there. And then just looking around, just nice matte finish here on the sides. On the back, we've got that second passive radiator, which is very nice. The X33 also has the same configuration, but they do look larger on the XB3. And then we've got, let's see, where's the flap? I think it's, there it is. Pops right off. And then we've got, let's see, audio in, a reset button, and it looks like it's a proprietary DC in charge, which is a bummer because the X33 was actually micro USB, which made it nice and convenient. This one does add the USB charge out. The X33 did not have that, so that is definitely a welcome addition there. I love it when they have that. And close that back up, make it water resistant again. And I say water resistant because it can take splashes, some rain, but don't submerge this because it won't be a speaker anymore. Just be a big paperweight. So that about does it. On the bottom, just like you saw, it's got that nice Sony branding there. Nice matte finish here. Overall, very impressive. Let me get the X33 so you can kind of just see the size difference. So let me get it in frame there. Yeah, so definitely bigger, heavier on the XB3 here. Get it from the front here. You can definitely see those drivers on the XB3, whereas you can't really see them here on the X33. So definitely looking promising. Sound wise, can't wait to test it out. Here's a side shot. So all around, a much bigger speaker on the XB3. So hopefully that translates into a bigger soundstage, because really that was really the only downfall of the X33 for me. Once you get to the higher volumes, it just kind of lackluster. So Sony was able to keep the sound quality and the soundstage that was produced on the X33 at the lower volumes, but able to bring it up to the higher volume register. That's going to be a really, really nice addition. And the fact that it's 149 bucks, I mean, you get a lot in this speaker. So this is going to be some stiff competition for the JBL Charge 3 when it does come out, especially if it sounds great. So without any further ado, guys, let's get right into the sound test. I'm going to do it like I normally do. I'll start about 50%. And just to get a sound comparison, I'm going to go ahead and pair it up against the X33 just to see what kind of improvements Sony made with the XB3. And then from there, we'll just go all the way to max and see how it goes. So without any further ado, guys, let's get this started. All right, guys, so there you have it. After listening to that sound test, I wasn't quite as impressed as I thought I'd be with the XB3. Although it did get louder, definitely had more power, more bass. It wasn't quite as clear or as defined as the X33. At 50% volume, the XB3 kind of sounded a little bit muffled. The bass was kind of overpowering the mids and the highs, where the X33 just, like usual, shines, crisp highs, nice mids, and that nice punchy bass. Even for such a small speaker, it's just went, the bass kind of matched the XB3, but it definitely did better on the mids and highs than the XB3 did. As the volume did go up, the XB3 did get a little more powerful, did start sounding a little bit better. However, I still preferred the mids and highs on the X33. Even though it did lose bass as you start going up, it just sounded a lot clearer and cleaner, and the soundstage was just a little more impressive than the XB3. I did have the bass button set on the XB3, so perhaps maybe disengaging that reduces the bass a little bit to give it a little bit more balanced sound and let those highs and mids come out a little bit more like they do on the X33. I'll definitely have to test that out and see if that's the case. However, if you are into bass, the XB3 is definitely your speaker. It does have more bass. It's just a little boomy sounding to me, at least. It's not as clean and as punchy as you do get on the X33. That being said, the X33 does lose a lot of bass, upwards of 70-75%, whereas the XB3 really holds on to a lot of it. I just prefer the overall sound of the X33, at least for now. I'll definitely have to test it out and see if disengaging like that bass button, like I said before, helps with the overall sound. Anyway, guys, that's it for tonight. Hopefully that gave you a good impression. I'll definitely be doing a lot more testing, and I'll do a lot more comparisons with some of the more popular speakers out there, like the JBL Charge 2, and probably throw in the Beats Pill Plus and see how those two compare. If you guys have any suggestions or want me to compare it to any other speakers out there that you might be interested in, let me know, because I can definitely do that. And before I go, make sure you check out the subscription, because I did put a couple links down there to the XB3 and the X33 in case you guys want to get a little bit more information that I didn't cover in this video. But anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Definitely Saturday, maybe a little bit earlier. We'll see how my schedule looks, but have a good one, guys. Bye.